Good morning, viewers, and welcome. You're watching NewsX, and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now, US President Donald Trump has signed the Iran Memorandum of Understanding during a dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron in Versailles. The signing takes place amid high-level diplomatic engagement between the two leaders. The agreement is set as a formal step in ongoing discussions related to Iran and regional security concerns, concluded during the high-profile meeting at the historic venue. Brian Thomas is joining me with the latest updates. Ryan, of course, an important meeting there between the two leaders. What more can you tell us?
Well, clearly, as of now, this was rather a very pivotal, a very important meeting that happened yesterday itself. And clearly, it came after 16 months, and obviously all eyes were on the meeting. And clearly, the meeting focused on the ties between obviously India and US. It was a 45 minutes meeting that took place between our Prime Minister and obviously Donald Trump. Clearly, they spoke about an array of issues. The issue of the seafarers were also discussed.
All right, we seem to have lost the connection there, but we'll try and re-establish that shortly. But joining me now is Ambassador KP Fabian. He's a former diplomat. Ambassador Fabian, welcome. Good morning. And of course, we're talking about a very key meeting between US President Donald Trump, who signed the Iran Memorandum of Understanding during a dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron in Versailles. And this takes place amid high-level diplomatic engagement between the two leaders. How do you read into this?
Well, it is a very welcome development for Iran, for the United States, for the West Asia region, including the GCC and Israel, and for the rest of the world, including India. Second point, basically, I have gone through the text. It has been very skillfully drafted, and essentially, Trump has signed on the dotted line. And the epic fury, well, that reminds me now of what Shakespeare said. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So I'm not blaming President Trump. I'm complimenting him for correcting an error which he made by joining Netanyahu's war. Netanyahu promised him that it will be a cakewalk. Well, it is not a cakewalk. And then it is good for Iran because imagine the sanctions there since 1979 when I was in Iran. And the Iranian economy, Iranian oil has already started flowing. Iranian economy will flourish and companies will go there to do business. When I was there, 76, 79, hundreds of Indian doctors, engineers were there. And India can go back to Chabahar. India can go ahead with the north-south international corridor. And let me explain, it is good for Israel. It may not be good for Netanyahu, but let us not conflate between what is good for Netanyahu and what is good for Israel. Because even Netanyahu's greater Israel project, he bases it on the Bible, the Genesis. Now, Genesis says that the territory between the Nile in Egypt and the Euphrates in Iraq will be given to the descendants of Abraham. Now, the first descendant of Abraham was Ishmael, born from Hagar, an Egyptian maid. And Ishmael is a traditional patriarch of the Arabs. So look at the geography. That territory is with the descendants of Abraham. And if Netanyahu had gone ahead with the Greater Israel project, rivers of blood and confusion and violence. So it is good for Israel also. Israel has to understand that it is like any other member of the United Nations. It has to abide by law. it cannot go on killing. And then some people say that, this Iranian regime has killed. Yes, I agree. They killed probably 6,000 or 7,000 in December, January. But look at Prime Minister Netanyahu. He has killed more than 70,000, including women and children, in Gaza, and 3,600 in Iran, and another 3,600 in Lebanon. So, while killing is bad, Netanyahu is the greatest sinner. And India should welcome it. Prime Minister Modi has welcomed it. And for us, the petrol prices will come down, and the LPG cooking gas will be there. Fertilizer, it will take a little time. But on the whole, it's a very good beginning. And those who say that, there are still matters to be discussed, well, there are matters to be discussed, but there is nothing which cannot be agreed upon with good diplomacy.